Hi everyone, I don't know if we're live yet. I'm still setting up. Let's see what we can find. Oh, it does look like we're live. Okay. So hi to anybody watching this back. I don't think anyone will have joined yet because it was pretty impromptu because I was waiting for YouTube to give me the all clear. Right, let's get rid of the background noise. That's easy enough to do. Okay, why do we not have a picture? Alrighty, let's see if we can get this sorted out for you. Well, I can't see the screen. And I've got a delay happening here. But anyways, guys, hello. I'm Girly Pants. And, oh, let's see. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this out. Oh, okay. It says got it, but I didn't get it. Hi, Debbie, how are you? Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to put a magnifying glass on that chat on the other side of the room so that I can read it. So, very nervous about all of this. I'm trying to get it onto the big screen. I'm pretty good, thank you. Well, I'm hoping I'm good. We'll have to wait and see. I'm good for the minute, let's put it that way. I think it's the change of weather. My body just keeps going into spasms at the moment. So, had a little episode earlier, so decided to take a muscle relaxant. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not going to happen again. Debbie, can you tell me, is the colouring book on the screen, or are we still pointing at a white page somewhere? I know what we're doing. I'm so sorry. That is actually my ceiling. Ha! Huh. Well, that didn't work, did it? That's my ceiling. That's all the way up here somewhere, I think. Because I can see the string on the ceiling that's helping to hold the tripod thingy steady. Debbie, I'm so sorry. I am going to have to jump off here, unless you're a streamer as well, because if you are, can you tell me how I turn the camera around? Oh dear. Oh, what a goose I am. Let's take it out of the mount. Oh, don't push the buttons. Let's try not to get my ugly face on the screen. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. What does that do? Oh, I can see my hand. Aha! I found a button. I found a button. That could work. Let's try and get it all back up in the mount. I'm sorry to say, I am really green to this. This is my second video ever. And now we look all flashed out. What light is causing the problem? Not that one. Is it this one? Okay, that was too much. I've got this lovely bendy thing, which isn't very stable, but we'll try and get it done. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. It's quite frightening, really, when you sort of think about it. It's like, oh no, what am I doing? So try and get that light set up so it's not flashed out. And thank you for leaving the comment too. That was lovely. And a thumbs up. really appreciate it. I'm not going to be I don't think I'll be anywhere near as professional as all the other streamers out there because, as I said, I'm just starting. This is the picture I'm working on. We had a look at that last night. But just to give you some ideas, because I don't think there's very many people here at the moment. One of the things I love to do, and I know the picture's in this book because I've seen it. We'll find it for you. Because, let's see. Have a look on this side. It might be on this side. Isn't that always the way? When you look for a picture, it's not there. But I know it's in this book because that was one of the reasons I grabbed it. Right. Waiting to see if that's on screen because the camera's behind me, like the TV, or the laptop's well and truly behind me. So I like to take pictures like this one here. And it looks pretty flat at the moment. But the reason one of the reasons I bought this particular book is because I've already done that picture. And I loved it, and I had so much fun doing it. So, I'll find it in the other book. I don't know, that seems to be the pattern with this picture. It always likes to hide from me. Oh, come on. Because this book, so that's the picture when it's finished. So what I like to do is I like to take something that looks really flat, and I really love to add dimension to it so it looks like everything's all laid up. So, as, you know, we can't do it all in one day, but, you know, these are the sorts of things I love to do, and we'll get around to showing you guys how I go about doing that and getting things to look like they're one on top of the other. Because to me, that's just the most fun thing to do. So, that's why I like these sorts of pictures anyway. So, we'll get to those, but at the moment, we are looking at that picture that I had on screen last night. Because Shailene Toland and Grace's Colouring Corner have a Crayola challenge going. So I'm a bit fussy when it comes to pictures, and I didn't particularly like this picture, and that's why I chose to do it. I wasn't particularly happy with the line art. Just on her face, like eyes too big. She just doesn't look quite right to me. But the great thing is that you can often colour in something like that and make something really nice of it. I do need some post-it notes. That's a really good idea. I will have to put them on my shopping list. So, I'm just going to play in this with Crayolas. I don't know. What part do you think we should do next? Oh, thank you. She's actually been lots of fun. I have Prismacolors now, and they've kind of spoilt Crayolas for me, but always seem to go back to my cheap pencils. They're lots of fun because you can do things with them and you can practice without using up your good supplies. Let's see. What are we going to work on? Oh, what's going on there? Okay. Do you know what? I really have no clue. And I'm like this when I colour in all the time. I'm just looking at it going, oh my god, now what do I do? The tail might be good. Alrighty, we'll give the tail a go. And now we're going to try the tricky bit. And I had to, hey Shailene! How are you, darling? I'm going to try and zoom. This is for your colour Crayola challenge, Shailene. But I'm going to try and zoom. And I've had to hook strings up to the ceiling and everything to try and hold this camera steady. And we'll see how we go. Which way do you go for your zoom? Out, that's right. Try zooming. Whoa! Did that work? Let's wait for the TV to show us. Come on. You can do it. Zoom. So that's the problem when the thing's above your head. You can't see what you're doing. Alrighty. So I'm pretty sure I want her tail to be aqua. And I still know that I want some purple in there somewhere. Maybe. Maybe we can get some purple in those little flowery things. That could be pretty. We get some purple, like these couple of purples here maybe, and some blue, probably a pretty blue. And then we can go back to our aquas because we definitely want all these aqua colours in there. And we'll see what we can do. We're still not really zoomed in, are we? Let's try that again. Zoom. Oh, okay. I did give Grace credit too. So we'll definitely do that. Now we've gone too far with this zoomy thing. Doesn't like me, does it? There seems to be a really big delay between me seeing it on, like what I'm doing in my lap, to what's happening on the computer monitor all the way over there. So, yeah, it's just, I've never done this before, Shailene, so I'm sort of looking at it going, now what do I got to do? When everybody else does it, it just looks really smooth. If you know what I mean, it's just like, oh, yeah, we just zoom in and there we go, we're right there. It's a big learning curve for me. But we'll get there. So let's bring that tail down a little bit. I will try not to move the book around too much. I just had a thought. What if we leave most of her tail aqua, but we do all the background behind. See, I'm off camera again. We do all the background in here like a purpley colour. Because I don't know why, I just really want to put some purple on this girl. So we'll see what we can do here. And the question is, once again, am I on camera? Oh no. You know, I can't even see that yet. Oh, lovely, Debbie. I always thought like blue was my favourite colour. But, so we're just barely on camera, so we'd probably have to go out that way a bit more. Hopefully that'll have it now. I always thought blue was my favourite colour, and then it's too far again. Come on. Get it right, girl. Yeah, I always thought blue was my favourite colour, and then next thing I know, I started, playing with colour pencils, and I just went, oh, aqua is so pretty. So I do like all the aqua green colours. So I'm working on... Oh, sorry, girls, I didn't even tell you what book this was, did I? did tell you last night, so I'll come back and I'll tell you what the book is in a little while, because otherwise we're going to move it all around and we're going to get stuck again. So, I think it's Create Colour. It's Colour to Create. So, if you didn't see the cover properly, that's okay. I will show it again later. So we'll just do all these little bits behind here. And then what we'll do, I'm thinking, because this is the lighter purple. It's got a name, I think. It's probably got a name. Orchid is the name of the colour on there. So we'll do it in this orchid, and then we'll come back with a darker purple and add a little bit of shading in. And we'll see how we go. But she's all Crayola, even like all her skin and everything. It was just lots and lots of layers. Oh, are we still live, or is it just that my computer screen needs refreshing? Alrighty, thank you, darling. I will refresh that computer screen in a second, because I can't see, like, the phone's actually above my head, sort of out in front of me above my hands, but it's well above my head, so I can't just jump up and see what's happening on the screen on the phone. That's why I thought I could be clever and put it on the laptop as well and watch it back on the laptop as I was working. So I might have half an idea of what's going on and I could still read your chat. Because I think it'd be terrible not to be able to do this and not be able to read the chat as well. And I was a bit worried about keeping up with chat, but we can work up to these things. I'll just put these last couple of bits on here so that we know where they go. I actually promised myself I wasn't going to try and rush things to get them done quicker, just because it's streaming, because once you start rushing your work, that's where you start running into problems. So while that's refreshing, the next colour I'm gonna put on there is violet purple, and I just want to get some down in these little bits here where it's all disappeared underneath the tail. And then we can come back with the lighter colour again afterwards and brighten it all up. You know, I've been sitting here all day. I had all the camera and everything set up earlier. Then I thought I'd better do another test run because I couldn't work out how to zoom. And then I realised the phone had to be up the other way to zoom. So, I did that, and then, of course, I put my hand up and I touched the phone, didn't I, to try to zoom. And the whole camera went boing, diddy boing, diddy boing, diddy boing. I was like, oh no, everyone's going to get seasick. And lucky for me, as Debbie saw earlier, there's actually a bracket that was left here by a former tenant, actually a former owner, and I've never bothered getting up to take it down. So it's been up there for years. And today it finally came in handy because I grabbed some wool and a biro and threaded a long, really, really long piece of wool up there that goes to the top of the camera mount. So the camera shouldn't be as bouncy as it was. So I've got all this sort of stuff rigged up around me at the moment. It's quite hilarious to see. I had no idea, Charlene, just how much hard work you girls go through to make one of these videos. And I mean, I'm just winging it. I didn't plan what I was going to do. I didn't plan what I was doing at all. I just went, yeah, okay, we're going to colour in and that'll be all right. But yeah, just trying to work out how to set it all up. That was funny. And I tried doing the, Ask Google thing and watched YouTube videos, and they're saying, oh, like, you could get out of it really cheaply, to set up a YouTube channel. It's really cheap. And they say, like, you can set it up, you can set this up for under $1,500. It's really cheap. And I'm like, oh no, that's a bit much. And they were talking about expensive cameras and lighting, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So this is a really budget setup. And if you want to have a go, Debbie, look me up, or come let me know, and I'll certainly give you all the tips that I can to help you get started for, under $50. uh, but it is a learning curve if you've never done it before. Oh, Shailene, I think it's going to be heaps of fun. Heaps and heaps of fun. And yeah, I've got my laptop plugged into a 32-inch screen on the other side of the room. So, well, there's a story behind that actually, but yeah, my computer doesn't live with me. It lives with in the TV unit with the TV. Because my very first laptop that I had, I had it sitting on an office chair beside me, on top of a stable table, and I had what else did I have on there? I had my it was like a 2 terabyte hard drive or something. I had my Game Boy on there. I had my portable DVD player on there, because my little laptop was what they call a netbook, so it didn't have a DVD drive or anything in it. But I had all this stuff stacked up there, and then one day, out of the blue, the whole thing just went floop and landed on the floor. The laptop was dead, the Game Boy was dead, the DVD player was dead. The only thing that survived was the hard drive, thankfully. So I managed to find a really good deal at Harvey Norman for a 32-inch TV, and it was $176 or something. It was really, really cheap. So me, like a fool, I got to Harvey Norman at like 4 o'clock in the morning to join the queue. Oh yeah, I was so happy my hard drive was all right. But I ended up buying a cheap TV to plug the laptop into when I got a new one. So now it lives on the other side of the room where I can't drop it or knock it over. And then I've just got a wireless mouse and a wireless keyboard by my chair here. So I can do anything I want with that. And the most annoying thing that can happen is you can drop the mouse on the floor, or you can drop your keyboard. So I don't have that stress anymore. And it's also great for streaming and stuff, like even with YouTube, I'll watch everything in full screen on the big screen and don't need to go out and buy, Android boxes and all the rest of it. You don't have to worry about casting. So it works very well for me. So what sort of phone did you get, Debbie? Must be the delay on the TV again. I haven't seen a reply. Either that or you're still busy looking at it. So I don't know on my other channel I had... Oh, when I... See, because I couldn't work out how to change channel names. Oh, okay, so that's a Sony and Xperia's a Sony, isn't it? Oh, I hate it when people do things like that. Why steal someone's phone? Hey, Melissa, how are you, darling? Welcome aboard. We're just colouring in with Crayolas today and learning how to use the camera. See, it's morning for you guys. Awesome. It's just on 10 o'clock at night here. So I won't normally be streaming. Well, I don't think I'll normally be streaming this late in the day. It's just I've been watching YouTube like a hawk all day. Going, come on, my 24 hours is up. Where's the okay? Oh, don't worry, Melissa. You should have seen it earlier. I had the camera pointed at the ceiling. I'm looking at it going, why can't I see the picture on the screen yet? It took a while to twig I was looking at my ceiling. It's all sorts of fun. And that's why it's sort of zoomed in funny at the moment. And I'm off screen again. Let me see if I can zoom out just a fraction. Let's see if that'll work, and we'll change colours. Please zoom out, come on. And which way do we want the book to go? Probably up, maybe. Okay, we'll try zooming out again. Ooh. Okay, so we'll try zooming out a little bit more. Yeah, I titled this video, Things Will Only Get Better, simply because I knew this was going to be a bit of a shambles until I work out how to use everything. So I figure, people might get a little bit upset if they sort of take a look at this and go, man, this video is just useless. So the intent is to figure out how this all works, and I don't know why it's not zooming. Pinch to unzoom, come on. I'm going to have to untie it from the ceiling and pull it down to see. Let's see what it does. I wonder if the screen up there is asleep. Oh, please don't let me turn it off. Okay, right. Hang on a minute. I gotta see what I'm doing. Hang on, girls. I'm going to pull it out of the bracket again because there's something on the screen here that says attention or something. Oh, no, it says actions. Right. Well, That might have been half the problem why it wasn't doing anything. Let's try and get it back up on the thingy. Get it reset. Pray that it's in about the right spot. And we're going to try to unzoom again. Oh, please be unzoomed. Oh, thanks, Debbie. The World Cup, that's soccer, isn't it? Or football, depending on what country you're in. It's the one with the black and white ball. Right. No, I still can't see what this is doing. Right, show me this for a minute. Oh, rotate device. No, don't rotate device. Just come this way for a minute. Just... Oh, touching buttons again. Don't touch buttons. Come on, phone. Please play nice. Where are we at now? Sorry, girls. I'm sure it's... Thank you for suffering through this with me. Okay, now... Yep, we're back to the page, and we might try... I know it's silly to try, but we're going to try anyway. We're going to try zoom in just a little bit. See if it zooms in half the distance. There is no half measures with this thing, is there? Don't wiggle, don't wiggle, don't wiggle. In a minute, I'm going to get real cranky with this thing and just push it towards the ceiling. Alrighty. I'm going to keep colouring in and we'll see what happens. So I'm pretty sure I want these little bits on the end of her tail here. And I think we should still be able to see these little bits on the end of her tail. Yeah, we're still zoomed in way too much. No half measures, I tell you. We'll just do a bit of colouring in and we'll play with the camera again in a minute because it's getting a bit much. And we really do want to colour. Oh, that sounds good, Melissa. This is just one of my cheap books I got from the checkout at, I think, at Big W. I'd kind of like to say that Big W is like Target, but from all the descriptions I've heard of Target in the States, it doesn't sound anything like the Target we have here. Target, Big W and Kmart here are all about the same. But I've heard people saying that they can go in and do their grocery shopping in Target, and it's like, wow, we don't do that here. You can buy like electrical goods and toys and I don't know, what do you call it, like Manchester and stationery supplies and all those sorts of things at Target here. Stuff for the garden. But yeah, nothing in the way of groceries really. Oh, okay. Yeah, well none of our Targets that I'm aware of have the grocery part at all. So yeah, Big W is kind of like a Target without the grocery part. Just as you go up to the registers there, they've got some magazines, and this was just one of the $10 ones that they had. And it's got some really nice pictures that are fun to play with. Oh, sorry. Don't mind me. Oh dear. Oh, cool, Shailene. Is he enjoying it? Is it like his first job, or is it he's been there for a while now and he's like one of the managers, or one of the senior staff members? Oh wow, very nice. That's brilliant. It's great when you can get a job that you love. Sounds like he's doing really well. 8 years is pretty impressive to go from starting to becoming a manager. That's pretty cool. I bet you're as proud as Punch. Was it his first job out of school, or did he try other companies first? Oh, lovely. Over here we've got a thing called like work experience. So they set you up to go and work in different places, and a lot of the time you can elect what sort of industry you want to go and work in. Ah, see, that's a clever boy, that is. That's very clever. Get the extra training under your belt and you can go places. That's that's really good, Shailene. Oh, cool. I got to do work experience in a couple of places when I was growing up. I got to, and I'm talking about, forced work experience with, school and everything. I got to go, at one stage I got to work at like a clothing shop called Katie's, and that was really nice, but the store doesn't exist anymore. Um, where else did I go? Oh, that's right. I worked for David Jones, which is like kind of like Myers for work experience. Work experience at David Jones. Oh God, that was funny. I mean, it's funny looking back at it, but at the time, I was devastated. Someone said to me, because I was just working on one of the like makeup counters, and someone said to me, can you go down there? See that door over there? And they pointed right across the room. And I said, see that door over there? Go in that door and grab some stock. All right, Shailene. So, anyways, I decided, okay, yep, I see the door, not a problem. So I went through the door. The door closed behind me, And I'm thinking, this is an awfully weird place to be keeping stock. It's kind of dangerous to keep it in a fire escape. So I turned around to go back out the door to go and say, hey guys, something's not right here. And there was no door handles on the inside of the door. I was in that stairwell for over an hour because I didn't want to set off any of the alarms, and I was going up and down the stairs, knocking on the doors. I ended up taking my high heels off because my hands were sore. Bashing on the inside of doors with high heels, trying to get somebody to let me out. And eventually I got down to the basement and somebody let me out in the kitchen. And they said to me, why didn't you just go out through the big doors that take you back out onto the main shopping mall? Like the fire doors. And I said to them, because I didn't want to set off any of the alarms. But yeah, I was kind of devastated when I got out of there. And it turned out that where I was standing when the senior staff member sent me to pick these things up, there were a couple of pylons on the way, so she could see one door, but because there was a big pylon in the way, I couldn't see that door. I could only see the exit door. Oh, I felt like such a goose. Oh, the things you do. Lots of fun. Oh, cool. I loved working in cafes. You get to meet so many nice people. Uh, See, now I'm getting lost for things to say. I don't know how Sammy does it for 2 hours. Hey, Shailene, welcome back, darling. Tell me if I'm talking too loud too, because I'm sort of yelling because the phone's up way above my head. So if I'm too loud, just let me know. Because my neighbours are probably wondering who I'm yelling at in here. Oh, good. Thanks, Debbie. So yeah, I really don't know what I want to do with this picture. I was really happy with her face and her hair. It just happened to be something I had on hand, and I went, well, for a first stream, it won't be anything too, I'm going to have another go at that camera, I swear. Hang on, I'm getting it down again, and we'll have another little look. And we'll see if we can't just zoom. That's what it is. It's not registering my fingers. Ah, what's it doing now? Ah, so we only want about a half zoom. We'll try that now. Do you know what it was doing? Let me get this back up here before my hand dies. What it was doing, and it's the way part of it's the way I've got it set up in this thing, is every time I was hitting the swipe, it was, now that's going to drive me nuts. Every time I was trying to do the zoom thing, it's putting the chat box on the section where I was touching the phone to do the zoom. That's why it wouldn't let me zoom. Okay, stay still now. All right, Shailene, I need zoomy tips. Right, let's try. You know, I tied this all up before and I thought I knew how I tied it. Let's just try. I don't want to bust the string. Come on down. It's like the price is right. Come on down. It's you, isn't it? You're the one holding that up over there. Right, let's try this. Make the string longer. Drop the phone down. Oh, that worked. Not. Right, now what have I done? That was my ugly mug you just saw, sorry. Okay, right. So, we're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to reef on this thing a bit. Reef on it a bit more. Touch the buttons, don't touch the buttons. This little clip that's holding the phone up isn't terribly long, and if you put it in the wrong spot, it'll actually touch the power button and turn the whole thing off. Right. Let's see if... Okay, stop bouncing, stop bouncing. Where's this one? Right, it's not going to be long enough to tie it back to anything now. Tie it to itself. Okay. It's a little bit lower. Sorry, girls. Hi, Louise. How are you? Sorry, I'm swinging the camera and everything around here trying to make it do what it needs to do to get this done. If we look at how to do a half zoom, Charlene, do you use a phone when you do this, or do you use a camera? Like a proper camera? Well, I know, I could probably twist that now so that it comes back this way a bit. Well, that zoomed out a little bit further than it was. Shailene says, I have my phone so the screen is facing up and the back of the phone is facing the book. Yeah, that's how I've got mine set up as well, Shailene. Push the screen to zoom like you normally would to read the screen. Yep. That's what I've been trying to do, and it's just going from one extreme to the other. And now we're all off camera again. And I think we're just about out of adjustment. It's not my imagination, is it? Oh no, it's not as bad as I thought. Because to me, it's all just down in one corner. And I really want to get it up into the middle. Okay. Twist, twist, twist. Just a little bit. Not too much. Okay, middle of the screen. and up a bit. Up a bit works for me. I'm so sorry, guys. Thank you so much for trying to hang in there with me. And the annoying thing is I think this stupid tripod thing that I bought is going to require lots of fiddling with to get it all set up. And yet I fiddled with it this afternoon thinking I got it done. Oh, please tell me I stopped moving it there. Because that's looking pretty decent. Right. Oh, that's okay, May, but thank you so much for coming, darling. You are a rock star. Absolute rock star, you are. I don't care what you say about it, mate. You're a rock star. Deal with it. Yeah, Shailene, I'm sure everyone learns by playing around, but you know, it's one thing to sit here and make short videos and see how they come out, but it's something totally different when it goes live. You do a lot to help everyone out, May. I've seen you. Oh, yeah, May's awesome at getting the trolls. I haven't got any moderators yet. I haven't worked out how to do that. But YouTube did force me. Well, they didn't force me. Hi, Louise. I don't know who I'm saying hello to now. I'm sure I've said hello before. I'm sorry if I haven't. I meant to. But yes, YouTube sort of got me writing out all these naughty words tonight. Because I finally found a section there where you could type in all the words that you don't want people to be able to say. So I typed them in, different spellings and different capitalizations and, yeah. Thinking, man. And it's really hard to think of a lot of rude words when you're not used to using them all the time. Oh, that's really good, Shailene. I don't have a camcorder though. I've just got the phone, so I'm gonna have to just deal with it for the time being. And it might end up just being that I have to go back and do like just the normal colour alongs. Yeah, there's a thing where you can appoint moderators and uh you know block potentially, you know, um potentially, I don't know what the word is now, but potentially unwanted chat. So like if the like spammers are sort of hitting you. Oh yeah, May, look, I intend to. This is just the first chat and I'm kind of thinking most of the trolls will be lucky to find this video. So it's I I was very tempted to try and work out how to do it, and then I thought I don't want to do it without asking anyone's permission either. I mean, when I was in chat rooms and stuff like that, you could just click on a person's name and promote them. So let's see if I can promote you. Haha. There you go, May. I'm going to pick on you now. Do I have the power to promote you to moderator? Oh, I can't see. Add moderator. May I add you as moderator? Yeah, I wouldn't put you as a mod if you didn't want to do it. Thank you, May. Ah, see, because it's all here on the chat thingy. Woohoo! Now, let's see. Debbie, would you like to be a moderator? Okay, basically, hands up, girls. Who wants to be a moderator? Of course, alrighty. Well, alrighty, girls. I'll get that sorted right now. Shalene and Debbie. May's not a mod. Why is May not a mod? Hang on. I must have... the 3 button things must have moved while I was doing it. Sorry, May. Okay, let me try again, up higher. See, the buttons moved again. You made Louise a mod. I'm sorry. I meant to make you a mod, May. I really did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 out of 6. Who did I miss? Yep, now everyone's a mod, May. That's not a problem. Because you know what's going to happen, don't you? You know what's going to happen in the future, don't you? It's going to get to a case of where somebody, you know, only one of you might be here or something, and at least I'll know that you've got the power to help. And I mean, it's your channel too, so, you know, if there's something you want me to do, or, you know, there's other people that, you know, things aren't going the way you want in chat, or, you know, things like that, you feel free to help show the channel, because, you know, this is our home. It's not my... It might be, you know, I might be behind the camera, but it's our home. So everybody gets to have a turn, and we all look after each other. That's the way I see it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but, you know, I think all our regular colour tubers should all just stick together, and that way we can keep the environment the way we want it. Yeah, that's right, Debbie. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. May. I'm sure Louise is going to be great. You'll all be great, I'm sure. I have faith in you all. But I've banned some funny words too, so if you're trying to call somebody an idiot, you can give it up now, because it's one of the blocks words. So there. Because I didn't just block swear words, I blocked what I considered swear words, or words that I didn't particularly want to hear. So a few of the words that I blocked aren't particularly aren't swear words at all. They're just words I don't want to see people using when talking to each other. Oh, it still came up. It still came up. So I don't know what happened to the censor thing. Oh man. That's no good at all. And I hit the save button and all. Well, that's okay, Louise, because you're a mod too now, so she can't do it to you. You've got the power. We might have to do the other half of this tale, I think. Yep, everyone's a mod. You get to be a mod, you get to be a mod, you get to be a mod. Everyone gets to be a mod. So you can be like Oprah. Everyone gets to be a mod today. And every day hereafter. Yeah, well, except the trolls. Oh, is that what it is, Shailene? Thank you. Because I was thinking, man, I typed in all those nasty words. And it was really funny when I was trying to think of, like, derogatory swear words. Wasn't that many I could come up with. Look, I mean, I don't mind. Seriously, if you need to have a go at somebody, as much as I'd like everyone to be nice to one another, but if it ever becomes necessary that you feel like you have to have a go at somebody, I'd rather you use plain English without needing to descend into, vulgarity to make your point. That's all. We're here to be supportive and look after each other um and have fun. So the last thing I want is people sort of using put downs against other people. That's why some of the words were funny. Oh, look, you can get up to mischief. I'm not saying you can't get up to mischief, Shailene. I'm funny like that. I swear and I don't make any bones about it, but in my mind there are two types of swearing, and one I find tolerable and the other one I find intolerable. So the two types in my mind is you can swear at something that's going on and go, oh, damn, this just happened or whatever. That's fine. I don't care. But, or you can use the F word and say, oh, I just spelt this effing coffee everywhere. That doesn't bother me. But the minute you start directing it at other people, that's when I get upset. So, I'm pretty open-minded in that regard. But just don't use it against each other, that's all. You can swear that, you just spilt your coffee all over your book or something, and that's totally acceptable in my mind. But that's just me. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, so I'll try and behave myself while I'm on screen and not swear. But if there are extenuating circumstances, I don't mean to offend. I'm just trying to put a slightly darker line. I don't know why I started doing it, but it's just something I do. I'm just trying to put a slightly darker line on the outside of this edge of the purple. Just to make it look like it's raised up off her tail. Because I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's not really a part of her tail, but more like some sort of costume jewellery she's added to her tail. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Oh, certainly. I'm going to try and fold it over and we'll see what we've got. This is just a book called Colour and Create, or Colour to Create. Haha. Alrighty, this is going to be hilarious. Oops, bumping the camera. I'm trying to zoom out. Zooming out. Okay. I'll bring it down this way a minute for you. Is that low enough now? Right. Right. I'm getting cranky with this camera thing. Right. Let's try and zoom all the way out. Zoom all the way out. Oh, I know why. Because I lowered the camera. That was clever, wasn't it? Ooh, ooh. The phone went bloop, bloop. Don't know what that means. So, okay. We'll try another way. We'll just try and bend the camera up for a second. Come on, screen. Show me what I can see. I'm sorry that the camera's moving because it's, you know what? It's going to be 10 times easier to take this out of the bracket for all of 2 seconds. Make sure that we're fully zoomed out. We can't possibly be zoomed out. Okay. I'll just try holding it in the air. Oh, we've nearly got the whole cover on there. Oh, I don't think I can hold it up any higher. Okay, it's called Colour to Create, and it's just, I can bring it down closer to me. It was a special issue with over 94 art therapy designs. And sorry the camera's moving, it's just because I'm literally holding it in the air for you. I've taken it out of its bracket, and I'm holding it in the air. Because the whole thing fitted on the screen earlier, so I don't know why it won't now. So, it says BMD Mind series, and it looks like it's available in the UK, US, Canada, and New Zealand, because it's £5.99 in the UK, and in the US it's $13.50, in Canada it's $13.50, and it says in Australia it's $11.99. So, it's just a little book, probably A4 or foolscap. I can't quite tell the difference right now. Right. Sorry, girls, I can't keep holding that thing up. Let me see if I can do the zoom thing, though. Do you know what would be 10 times easier? Is if it was just slide to zoom instead of pinch to zoom. Right. No, need to move your fingers. Right. Try that. And now the whole thing's hanging down again. Go back up. See what we can do? I know how we can make it higher. We can use the magic string that's tied to the roof, maybe. If I get it right. Up you go. Okay. Literally, may I have like all this wool that goes from the top of the camera mount to the roof, which is quite hilarious. Okay, now I can't see chat, so we'll come back over here. Oh yeah, May, we are. It's it depends what neighbourhood you're in or what social setting you're in. But yes, we are a little bit more freer with our tongues than most. We certainly couldn't call us conservative. That's for sure. Because it always surprises me when I'm online and you're playing like uh, a computer game or something like that where there's live chat involved, and it's got a uh, like it's got the little censor blocker on there, and you go to say like bloody hell, and it won't let you say it, or you go oh bugger, and no, it won't let you say that either. And yet they're very Australian things to say. So and they're not something that we really consider over here to be swearing. They're expletives. Is that the word? Yeah, they're just like exclamations that you make when something's not going quite right. Uh, I don't know. I know some places they say stupid things like cheese and crackers. Uh, but yeah, we're a little bit easygoing here. We tend to sort of roll with the punches most of the way. And we have funny words too. Oh yeah, Louise, move to Australia. You'll have a ball. Oh, cool, Debbie. That's great. I'm pleased you've got the copy. Because seriously, I know it was just a cheap book that I come across, and I'm guessing that it came from like Big W. That is just my nearest guess because it's not one of my good quality books. It's not the sort of thing you'd buy at like QBD bookstore or something. Good on you, Louise. Uh, we have funny words here in Australia. I mean, and in the UK, because we're a Commonwealth country, so a lot of our English came from the UK. So we say things over here like thongs. Just put me thongs on, or sometimes they get called double pluggers or something. But yeah, typically your thongs. Over here they're a rubber. Got a pair on the floor somewhere. They're just a little like rubber soled sandal type thing where you've just got one cord that goes up between your big toe and the rest of your toes to hold it on your feet. Do you have a book called Relax with Art? Hmm, I don't know. Oh, you're a good nana, Shailene. Relax with Art. Hmm, hang on. No, I don't know. There could be one in the cupboard. I don't know. I have a bookcase that's seriously. My nurse comes and takes me shopping, and I'm sure I give her a heart attack because just about every time we go shopping, I've got to go buy books. Yeah, Shailene, what you call flip flops, we call them thongs. So yeah, when we're talking about thongs, it's not the same thing that you'd be thinking of in America. That's like when you guys over there say fanny pack. We all go tee. Yeah, see, well, over there you call that. That's what you call a thong. Over here, we'd call that a G string. So I don't know why they call it a G string, but that's what they're called. Oh, I've lost it now. Yeah, I don't know, Debbie. If I do, it could be in the cupboard. Yeah, that means something totally different over here, Louise. That's girly bits, that is. That's why everyone sort of goes tee. Oh, it's definitely fun with different languages. Yeah, Louise, that's right. I mean, I can remember being a kid and you'd hear the word fanny pack and you'd be sitting there thinking, like, how does that work? It's amazing what your imagination can come up with when you have no clue what it is and you've only got Australian lingo to go by. So that doesn't seem real convenient. Oh no. Alrighty, so I need to move the book up. See, off that camera again. Talking about. Oh. Oh, Louise, that's funny. Oh, could you imagine? Oh, that's hilarious. I'll try and get this sort of back on the camera a bit better. Probably doesn't need too much adjustment. Yeah. See, just when you put the mouse away thinking you don't need it. Uh, that's too funny. Uh, that's cute. Fanny's on the beach. Oh dear. Alrighty, I think I'm losing my way on here. I'm losing the plot. That's what it is. Let's try and do something funky with that purple again. Let's try and make these little bits, actually. Um, we've got this pink. Don't worry about the size of my pencils. I have more packs of Crayolas floating around here. I know you girls all talk about the 100 pack of Crayolas and how good they are, but this is what we can buy. Once again, don't know that that's going to fit on the screen, but we can buy the pack of 50 here in Australia, and you can get those at like yeah, maybe down a little bit. You can get the pack of 50 here from like Kmart and Big W, and they're only around $20 a packet. So and this one's still full of pencils. So when these little ones run out, because I got the pack I'm using at the moment seems to be a dud pack. Because like they keep them in the children's section, and you know what kids are like. They take them down, they throw them around. Their mums take them off them, they put them back on the shelf. And then, of course, you walk in going, oh, I need some of those. And you grab them and you get them home, and every time you sharpen them, they break. So, this one seems to be a bit of a dud pack because they haven't really had as much use as they look like they have. Because they've got smashed cores, unfortunately. But I've got another couple of packets of them hanging around the house. I've got a spare packet downstairs, which is normally my travel bag, but I did take it out to show you the box. And there's another packet upstairs by the bed with a couple of colouring in books up there as well. Just throwing a little bit of this pink on this purple that we did earlier, just to try and brighten it up a little bit, because it's in real life it's not looking terribly bright. I still want to keep it in the purple tones, but I just want to brighten it up a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, I haven't bought anything. Like, I don't have what they call Create Space paper that I'm aware of. I've never bought anything off Amazon in the way of books. Like, I mean, I've got my Kindle and things like that, but I mean, colour books or, art supplies or anything like that. I've never bought from Amazon, because when I have wanted to go and buy something on Amazon, it will come up and say, oh, no, it's not available in your country, and then I sort of start getting a bit confused about the whole thing, and I go, oh, it's easy, just go to eBay, they'll have it. So, but I'd certainly like to read the reviews on Amazon. But unfortunately in Australia now, our government has decided that they want a bigger slice of the tax dollar out of people. And they've gone, well, all of you Australian people, the citizens here, are buying stuff from overseas now because, we let you use computers, heaven forbid. And now we're not getting as much tax revenue from you all. So now we want companies like Amazon to charge you tax, and then we want to tax you, like tax Amazon, because Amazon's making money by selling stuff to you, and Amazon have just turned around and gone, hey, we're not playing that game. If you want to tax your people, then that's up to you to do it, but we're not changing our whole system to accommodate you. So what Amazon did was say, well, as of, I think it's next month, they will only be allowed to buy from Amazon Australia. We won't be able to buy from Amazon US or Amazon UK. So that's really going to hurt, and I don't know what the rest of the Australians are like, but I'm pretty much like, if that's their choice and they don't want us to allow us to buy from their company, then why the hell should I go and buy from, why on earth should I go and buy from, Amazon AU? Because all the stuff we want comes from, like, the UK and the US and Sweden and Holland and Korea and Japan, and you can't buy that on Australia, like on Amazon in Australia. Yeah, Louise, I don't know how to set up a middleman, but I'll tell you now, you girls want to make some money, start selling stuff cheap on eBay. If it's something, they come out with books and stuff like that, whack some on eBay, and you can pretty much guarantee the Aussies will buy it. Yeah, I think they're going to lose out too, because, oh, sorry, my bad. I think they're going to lose out too, because Aussies are kind of funny like that. We're reasonably loyal people. So if we think one company's done the dirty on us, then it's a case of, we just sort of knuckle down and go, well, fine, we won't deal with you then. So all they've done really is hurt their Australian company. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you could, Louise. I'm sure you could. But I do keep an eye out for different things. But I don't actually buy a lot anymore, and to be honest, like, I mean, I have some great books, and I have paid a little bit of money for some of my books. And I was really, really blessed to get is it Minuet Debonair? Um I got that for my birthday last year because my father actually made the mistake of asking me what I would like for my birthday. I said to him, "Oh, well, Dad, there's this colouring in book I'd really like to buy." And he said, "Okay, well, we'll send you a voucher." And yeah, I told him how much the colouring in book was because I think it was like $40. And yeah, I think his little eyeballs nearly fell out of his head. I don't know, Louise. I actually haven't bought from Etsy. Um, without going into too much detail about my personal situation, I don't have a lot of expendable cash to spend on art supplies and things like that. So I build up everything very slowly, and I got sidetracked from the whole "this is out now" type um, setup because there's lots of books that I would love and I intend to buy myself at some point. But what happened over here, and I'm sure that most, like, it's happening, not just here but in other places as well, is that the publishers sort of went, well, the whole colouring in craze has died out. So we don't particularly want to bring out too many more books. So they started pulling them out of stores. Now, when they started doing that, some of the big stores went into sort of like a bit of a panic mode and went, well, what we'll do, because we've got to move these books, they're not selling, people are buying, the craze has died out. Let's knock all the prices of the books down to $5 a piece. So every time I went shopping over the last year or so, I would stop and I would buy 2 or 3 books, depending on my budget for the day. So I just kept stocking up on books. And some books I have a couple of copies of, simply because that way if I mess one up, I've got a backup. I've got some books are duplicates just so that I can keep some upstairs to save me having to tackle the stairs twice. So I don't have to carry them up the stairs that way. So there's some supplies upstairs as well. Not many, just enough to get you through in the middle of the night. If you happen to wake up, because I've got a lovely old rocker recliner upstairs that in my bedroom. So if I can't sleep, I can get up and sit in that and colour in there as well, or read or whatever. But I can't actually. Well, I never used to be able to lay in the bed for long and sort of wake up. And the minute you wake up, you've got to get up because it was too painful. But thanks to our wonderful healthcare system, they've helped me out with a lovely mattress that helps to alleviate my pain, so I can actually lay in bed now, where I never used to be able to. So that works. So it's not quite as often now that I have to get up during the night and sit in a chair. I don't know. I don't know what else I can really do to this poor tail. It's starting to look overworked to me because I'm losing. You get to a point where you start working on it too much, you start losing the light, like the highlights, like the little highlights in the tail. They start disappearing because you just add too much colour and it all just becomes one after a while. So my plan or intention at the moment would be to stream earlier than this because I don't want to. I don't want to go over other people's streaming times and stuff like that. No, you know, I'm not trying to take away what they do because I enjoy watching their streams as well. But aside from Peter Hewitt, I don't know any other Australians that stream. So, and it is rather late at night now. It was just like, oh, it's finally going to let me, so I'll make good on my promise. And because I was really worried that YouTube weren't going to give me the approval, but only because they didn't do it within the 24 hours as promised. But I figured, no, we've got to at least have a go at this today. And we might go for some light blue or green. What's this one? Might go for a light turquoise. That might be what we need. Just all that dark sky up there. I haven't used any blender pencils or anything on this. It's just been layers and layers of Crayola. And that bit of dark sky up there, it took me hours. Just because I was working in light layers because I didn't want lines in it. But, it'll come together. Now the fun part. Because I never write things down normally. I'm a bit, free and easy when it comes to that. So, half of the tail to match. But I like those sorts of challenges. But alrighty, I think I'm pretty happy with that. What do you girls think? Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't found that yet. Oh, now you've got me confused. On A Colourful Life's Facebook page. No, I don't know that I am on A Colourful Life's Facebook page. I'm on Reading with Pugs. I'm in the Reading with Pugs group, and I'm in the Jennifer Stays group. So they're the only two groups that I joined because I'm not proficient in social media. I almost, like, by this much, almost missed the entire social media boat. So I'm not big on YouTube. I don't, oh, thank you, Debbie. Yeah, not big on YouTube, not big on social media. Seriously, I was talking to my niece the other week on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Facebook, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what was happening, but Facebook would all of a sudden take me somewhere else. And in the end, I couldn't find my way back to talk to my niece because she lives miles away. So, oh, thank you, Debbie and Louise. That's lovely. Thank you. So, yeah, these things still confuse me. I will work them out, and it's just going to take time. And, like, I don't use my real name on Facebook or anything like that. I don't think that they need to know my real name. Well, my real first name's up there, but they don't need to know my surname. They don't need to know exactly where I live. They don't need to know, exactly how old I am to the day. Those sorts of things. So I don't think that's really any of their business. If you're only on there to connect with, friends and family, people you actually know, they know how old you are. And if they're your friends and family, they'll know your birthday, or they'll have an idea of when it is, or somebody else in the family, circle will know when the birthday is. My nan was the keeper of the birthdays, so if you wanted to know when anyone's birthday was, Nan would always let you know. So it will take me a while to get these things sorted out, and so I figured joining too many, because seriously, I haven't kept up with Jennifer Stays' colour group. as much as I would like to, but I keep trying to keep up with the Reading with Pugs, and you get the notifications, and it's like, oh, quick, no, there's more, and what does this one say? And then you've got to work. It took me a while to work out. It took me a while to work out that half of those notifications were just telling me that somebody else also posted a comment on a picture that I was following. Because apparently, if I like a picture, apparently it must mean that I'm following it. So, as soon as somebody would do something, I'd get this notification, and of course I'd have to follow that notification. It's like, oh, I better go and check on that. And I could just spend hours in there having a look around, and I had no intention of. Oh, that's wonderful, Louise. That is so cool. Yep, Nan's the keeper of all the secrets. You need to know something, that's who you ask. But, yeah, so I was following these. The notifications just had me sort of, going around in circles, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm not going to pop in there every day. I'll pop in there every so often and have a look at some people's pictures and stuff. But, yeah, otherwise I just get too overwhelmed and I get stuck in a loop. Oh, can you? Oh, that's handy to know, Louise. I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to have a look at that because, yeah, it just boggles my mind, and I'm just looking at it going, oh, now what do I do? Oh, I better check. uh, that thing, if you pay, if I've come to the conclusion, if you pay attention to all the notifications they give you, you could be in there all day and never escape. Ah, the three magic dots again. Okay. I will watch for those. Because, yeah, I'd get stuck in there forever. Yep, alright, I will do. But then, so I'll have to leave it on there long enough to see. Oh, do I have to? Hang on. You'll know the answer then. If I leave a comment, or somebody wants to, reply to a comment, would I still get their reply if I've turned the option off? Like if I say I don't want the notifications anymore? So like say I posted on something and then it keeps telling me all these other people are following it. If I say turn that notification off, and then the person I left a message for comes back and says, oh, thank you, or something, will I still receive that they've left me a message? Does that make sense? Because I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them, that's all. Ah, okay, Debbie. So yeah, then I'd be wanting to leave the notifications on then until it was over and done with, and by then I guess the notifications are going to go away. I shall play with it and see what comes up. Yeah, I don't want to turn off all the notifications. I only want to leave the notifications on that are relevant. Because I was even getting like notifications for advertising from other people, and it's like, who's that? What's this? In the end, I realised what it was, so I turned the notification off for those. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, because I'd hate to turn off, um, I'd hate for that person never to be able to let me know that they've put something up again. Because I love watching what everyone does. And I mean, look, I'm great. I know that, I'm great at starting a page. I'm no good at finishing it. So anyone that can actually finish a page, to me, that's just gold. Because I have whips all over the place. I'll get so far and then sort of either I'll decide I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, or I've had fun. Yeah, Louise, I get it that you'd have to do it every time. That's cool. I can handle that. Thank you. That's a big help. But yeah, I get so far, like I've got Oh no! Louise, the dog ate your homework. That's no good at all. Oh, oh, I'd be heartbroken. Thankfully, my dog hasn't gotten anywhere near my books. Well, he comes up here, but he hasn't tried chewing on any books yet. Oh no! Was it a whole book, Louise, or was it just one page? Was it the whole book or just one page, Louise? Is it salvageable? Oh, phew, that I'm so happy for you, Louise. I know it's terrible, but I'm so happy it was just a printout. I know you lost all the hard work you did, but at least you've got the opportunity to print it again, and it's not something that was irreplaceable, because that would just break my heart. Good on you, Shaylee. That's funny. My dog learnt when he was little that shoes bite, because he was very interested in shoes. So shoes bite, and the only things he is allowed to destroy around here is he loves his toys, and any squeaky toy that lasts more than an hour in my house is good value for money. Oh, that's good, Louise. At least you got a laugh out of it. My dog loves killing his toys, and he will he won't just kill the squeaker, right? He'll chew on it and chew on it and chew on it until he's killed that squeaker, because that's his main aim. But is that good enough for him? No. After he's killed the squeaker, he then has to rip a hole in the toy and rip all the stuffing out of the toy and remove the squeaker and make sure and certain it's dead. So you wind up with all these bits of polyfiber fill all over the floor, in great big clouds of it. And you just look at it and think, how do they get all that filling in that little toy? But yeah, somehow he makes a great mess. He has a ball with it. His other favourite trick, and this started, granted, I started this one off because I let him do it as a puppy. But because he liked tearing things up when he was a puppy, and he was such a tiny little thing. I mean, I've got a little bag somewhere here that's like this big, and not that big maybe. It's only this big. I'll find it someday for you and show you. But it was a dog carrier for a toy poodle, and my dog fitted in that until he was like 3 months old. So, and you could zip it up with him, and there's just a little bobble-headed stick out the front. So, when he was really little, there wasn't very many things he could do. So, occasionally, if he was bored, and because at the time we had a lot of rain, so we were rained in, and the dog was a bit bored, I had a box of, no-name tissues. So I let him, if I was in the mood, I'd give him a couple of tissues. And boy, would he have a ball. He would just turn them into snow, and they'd be white everywhere. And he would just have an absolute ball shredding these little tissues. So he knows that that's allowed, but he also knows it's only allowed if I give them to him. But yes, occasionally he will actually discover a tissue somewhere, and then that will be it. If I drop a tissue, it's been on my lap, or it's missed the bin when it's gone in, he will take that thing and destroy it, and it will go everywhere. I have a destroyed tissue down there on the floor right now that I haven't cleaned up yet. And as soon as my body will let me bend forward, I will pick it up. So, yes, all sorts of fun, but he's terribly cute. And the only other thing around here he's allowed to destroy are toilet roll cores. Every time I finish, I go to the toilet, and here's the toilet roll core run out. Like the toilet roll run out, he comes running. And he wants that for himself. And he'll throw those things around the house. He'll sit there and he'll pull them apart. And he just has an absolute ball with that, because it's the only time he's allowed to be destructive. My best friend actually bought him for Christmas, last Christmas. She bought him half a carton, like half a big cardboard box, full of toilet roll cores, just to see what he would do. Hi, Saga, how are you? My doggy actually pulled out a teddy bear leg. Oh, pooed out. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness, Louise. Oh, I bet you were shocked. You were so lucky he passed that, Louise. So lucky he passed that. Oh, goodness. They're funny, aren't they? I bet you were. I think the funniest thing, or the weirdest thing my dog ever ate, which just terrified me no end, is he was only little, and I got some spare ribs from the pizza shop, and they came in a foil takeaway container, and it seemed like pretty sturdy foil to me. So, I ate the ribs, and I left some meat in the container with the sauce, and said to me, there you go, you can clean the container. It's going in the bin. You can clean that container up. And I left him out in the backyard with it. Silly me, because I should have been watching him, shouldn't I? So anyways, I came in, I went to the bathroom, and I came back to check on him, and half the aluminium container was gone. It was just gone. And I'm looking at this dog going, oh my God, What do you do for that? And I think the dog thought that night that he hit the absolute jackpot because it was the middle of the night. There was nothing I could do for him. And I'm thinking, well, how do you help safeguard his tummy, you know? So the most fibrous thing that I could think of to give him that's something that would break down into fibres was schmackos. Oh, he did. He thought it was great. But yeah, I grabbed those schmackos straps. I don't know if you have them over there. They're just like a meaty strap, and they're just like all fibres that are like compacted together. And he got to eat about 20 schmackos straps. And it's the first time in my life I've ever seen a dog start turning down a snack. He's like, Mum, no, no, no more. I can't face another schmacko. But I kept feeding him these bloody schmackos. And it's like, come on, you gotta eat this, eat this, eat this. And I just made him eat them all because my theory was, and it worked, thank goodness, was that they would break down and the fibres would sort of fall in between the alfoil and sort of, help bulk it out so get a smooth run to the other end. So, because all I was worried about was that he was going to gut himself from the inside out. And I was like, oh no. So, yeah, he got overfed schmackos one night due to eating the wrong thing. But, yeah, he was as good as gold, thankfully. You're really lucky, Louise, that he came out with just an upset tummy. I was lucky that this little bloke here managed to pass the aluminium too. So yeah, he's never been left alone with an aluminium container again. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that was the scariest day I've had with him, I think. Oh well. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped up here. He will normally, if I'm on the phone, chatting for a while, he starts to get a bit jealous. And it's like, you're just up there talking to somebody else. Why can't you talk to me? So he'll jump up and say hello or demand attention or start bringing me toys to try and catch. So he's been really good at the moment. Ah, now I know why. It's winter here. Yeah, he loves his treats. Absolutely loves his treats, and he gets quite bossy about his treats. But it's winter here. Or it's winter now. We're still at the start of winter, but it's winter here, and it's a bit on the cool side at the moment, being the middle of the night and all. So the reason we haven't seen the dog at all tonight is because he has a couple of electric beds, which in our climate you probably don't really need it, but I figure he's old now and he deserves it. No worries, Shailene, it's just me girly pants. You know me, Shale. You have a great night, Shailene. Are you streaming tonight? Or today, like in the near future? Have a great day, Shailene. Okay, Fridays and Sundays, that's cool. No worries at all. Yeah, Shailene, you're one of the ones that inspired me to actually do this. Because remember your stream for the Colour Like Nobody's Watching, you had the snafu happen with the phone. And you just soldiered through. You and Grace both soldiered through and just went, fine, we'll just go live. So I figured, yep, okay, we'll give it a bash. You have a lovely day, Shailene. I hope it turns out to be fantastic for you, and if it's not fantastic, you make it fantastic. Yeah, I look, Liz, I think Shailene's great too. Hi, Candace. Oh, thank you so much, Candace. It's been fun. It's been a bit comical at times, I think. I've had all sorts of dramas trying to get this camera thing to work, and I'm going to end up having to ask you girls what sort of stand I could probably use that's better than this thing. And how are you, Candace? It'll come back on screen. Yep, so it's still there. Fine. Sorry, I had to reload the laptop screen, so as soon as chat comes up, I'll be able to see what you're saying again. Oh, okay. Well, good morning, Candace, then. I'm good, darling. I'm pretty good. I was a bit worried a bit earlier because the fibro was just trying to turn me into a pretzel again earlier. So I jumped on that really quick because it's been a problem for the last few weeks. So just jumped on that really quickly and got some muscle relaxants, and um, that seems to have sort of been keeping things at bay pretty much, which is good. So yeah, because I was laughing at myself earlier because I don't know, I know what I did. I know what I did now. I've got these like bendy light things, just little LED lights. They're cheap, and I've got them clipped to everything here to light the area. And yep, that one's still working. Sorry, I was just thinking that one wasn't really bright over there. Um, but yeah, so I've got all these lights to light the area, and I thought, well, I could try a third light and reach forward to grab like turn the third light on, and that was it. My whole body just went nyunk. I was like, oh no. So yeah, we probably won't reach for that third light again for a while. Oh dear. Um. Well, it's kind of hard to say how long I've been colouring for. I mean, I was always colouring as a kid. I loved colouring in as a kid, and I remember watching my auntie colour in because she was colouring in. When she was an adult and going to work, she was still colouring in books. Um. So, I'd take my lead from her and go, oh, that looks like a good idea. And then I actually ended out, like all through my 20s and 30s, I was buying colouring in books, which unfortunately I don't have anymore. But I used to buy all like the Disney colouring in books and, um, like the Jetsons and, all these really nice, um, they were called deluxe colouring in books because they had the thicker paper in them. And the funny thing was, I never actually used to colour in them. What I used to do was I would either trace the picture onto another page or I would hand draw the picture onto another page and then I would colour it in. because right from when I was a little kid, one of the things that I had in my mind was that what I'd really love to do was to like colour in the colour plates for the animation for things like, the Flintstones and stuff. I didn't want to draw them. I just wanted to colour them. And that could be my career. I could just sit and hand colour all the backgrounds for all the different shows. And so, but I used to pay a lot of attention to cartoons where, I don't know, say Donald Duck, for example. Because when we think of cartoons and you try and draw a cartoon and it doesn't come out right and you sit there and you scratch your head and go, why doesn't that look right? A lot of the times it's because when you watch a cartoon, for example, like Donald Duck, the animators would actually use like a light blue to do the outline for where Donald is white. And so they just use a slightly darker colour to do the outlines. So they weren't actually using black lines to make their colouring in, like, to colour in their characters. And so that used to fascinate me. So I used to like to hand draw them myself so that I could make the colours look right. But yeah, I sort of ended up losing all of my colouring in books. One of my friends had a fit of generosity. But they didn't have a fit of generosity with their own belongings. They had a fit of generosity with my belongings. Well, I wasn't home. And they decided to give them all away because, I'm an adult and I don't need these childish things. So I was heartbroken, but I did not have the heart to go to the children and say, give them back. I need those things back, thank you very much. So they got to keep them. I just wasn't impressed. Let's put it that way. I was not impressed that they ended up with all of my prized possessions. But the adult colouring thing, even with the adult colouring thing, it's a bit hard to say how long because, I touched that light again, sorry. It's just a touch lamp and it's really sensitive, that one. And I brushed it with my finger while I was reaching for the sharpener. With the adult colouring in, I started in this book over here, which granted I haven't done a lot in. I started in this book over here, and this was a couple of years ago, I think. I'm sure this is one of the books I started in. They were very cheap. So it's just a book by Take 5, which is a magazine over here. So that's from 2016. Maybe I need to move that over. So that's from 2016. And that's one of the first pictures I did with my Prismacolors. Because I'm not, I know it sounds silly, but I like highly pigmented pencils, and as much as I do love my cheap pencils, but my love of cheap pencils is trying to find ones that work well and have a lot of pigment for the price, stuff like that. So, thank you. So yeah, I'm still hunting for, that little bargain, that, dollar, that, what do you call it, like, cheap as chips, but fantastic, does everything sort of thing. So, but there was one, it came to a point where I had watched so many videos and all I knew was, like, because I've got, don't get me wrong, I've got Derwent Artists that are, vintage Derwent Artist pencils here in the wood box packed away. But I bought them when I was a teenager. But I say teenager, I was like 19 or something. 19 or 20, somewhere there. But anyways, it got to a point where I just couldn't contain myself any longer. And I went into the art shop. And it was just one of those, it wasn't, okay, it's called an art shop, but it's like calling, I don't know, to me it's more like a cheapy art shop, like an arts and crafts place rather than a serious art shop. There's not actually a lot done in this book, I don't think. There's a couple of trees. It's just a, I'm bored, let's do something. But yeah, I finally went into the art shop and went, well, how much are these Prismacolor things? And for am I going the wrong way? Oh, that's better. So yeah, I think they wanted 63.40 or 64.30 or something for a box of 24 Prismacolors. And I'd gotten myself that hyped up about them that was it. I had to have them. I didn't care. I'll go without something to get them. Just give them to me. Give them to me now. So I got them, and I came home and started playing with them. That's just playing with, watercolour pencils on there, just to see what they do. Of course, the paper didn't like them very much. Now, this cat, I did this cat for fun, which I know probably sounds silly. But because I did the watercolour on the page before it, all the watercolours come through on the page. So this was probably one of the most stress-free colouring ins I ever did in my life. Because in my mind, the page was already ruined. So it didn't matter. You could just put any colour you wanted on there. Because it didn't matter because, see, look, the paper's already ruined. And that was the mindset that I went in with. So I just had a little bit of fun with him and just threw lots of colour at him. And I'm actually really happy with the way he came out. So he came out way prettier than I ever thought he would have. But, so yeah, I got the first box, my first tin of 24, because I couldn't contain myself. So I sort of built on them. And I'm terrible for making whips. I don't finish anything. Oh, that's right. I've seen your channel. Yeah, you do some wonderful work with the diamond paintings. They are great. Just do it in small. Just do it in small bits, Candace. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was only that I'd turned myself inside out over Prismas that, and this page was a fail, and I'll explain why in a minute. Just do it in little bits and pieces. It took me over 2 years to build my set of Prismas. But I ended up buying a whole heap second hand. Bye, Zaga. Have a great day, darling. Take care. Thank you so much for joining. It's been lovely having you here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, the reason this was a fail was I'd used so much black Prismacolor on the page that I very quickly found out what wax bloom is, because I had a misguided idea of what black wax bloom was. So wax bloom was, the page was nice and jet black, and then when the wax bloomed, it's like when chocolate blooms. You ever seen it when your chocolate starts going white? Well, the whole page where it was black went like a smoky white colour. And I ended up having to hit it all with solvent to get it off. So it smudged all over my eggs. But I learned a valuable lesson about wax bloom. So you just do it in little bits and pieces. So, there's no need to rush in and get everything at once. That's like my colour books, you know. I was only buying the what anything I could get for $5 for a while. Oh, okay, Louise, I'll try that next time if it ever happens again. Just normal tissues or like the aloe vera type tissues? Because I don't know if you have Kleenex where you are, but we have these like aloe vera type tissues. See, turn the box up the right way. It's like, you know, with aloe vera and vitamin E. Oh, okay. Oh, Candace, you are very spoilt, my dear. That sounds absolutely divine. I've never used them, but I've seen them and they just look amazing. I am planning on buying myself somewhere between 4 and 8 Luminance pencils. I don't know what the price is like over here, but over here they're like $9 a piece. The pink flower. I oh yeah, they were quite pretty. They reminded me of yeah, the pink flowers just reminded me of Dr. Seuss. You know, like the Lorax, because they reminded me of those puffy trees. Oh, thank you, Candace. I don't always colour well. See, look. The theory is that not every piece is a masterpiece. So, yeah, I was not happy with this one at all. But you know, and some of them too, you change your mind about your work as you go. Um, like when I first did this one, I absolutely loved it. I mean, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And then I sort of went back and looked at it later and went, oh, I don't like that now. And it sort of, you know, depends on what day you look at it as to how you feel about it. But yeah, just work on things really, really slowly. Just pick up bits and pieces here and there. And you can do some fantastic work with some really cheap supplies in a lot of cases. So, you know, this is a picture I love, but I've never finished. But I love, this is what I was talking about earlier, right at the beginning, is I love making things look like they sit all one on top of the other, like things are stacked. But in my mind, this is a gas hot plate, so I don't know what all these things are doing stacked up around it. But I love giving things dimension, like these little blobs, like literally they're just ovals or ovally shapes, and trying to turn them into rocks so that they look like they're standing up out of the page. Hi, Tara Lee. So yeah, this is just, as I said, it's just a cheap $10 book that I had oodles of fun with, and I still pick it up from time to time and have a bit of a play around. I like the red rose in that one, and I love this rose here. I can't think what else is in this book. Can't be too much. And of course I love this picture. I think this was the first one I did with Prismacolor where I just sat there and went, wow, now that's what I expect from a professional pencil. Because, you know, no, I'm not an ungrateful sort of person. I don't think I am. But I was lucky enough when I was young. Am I not on screen? Aha, I'm not on screen. I'm so sorry. I was lucky enough when I was young that I'd been to, you know, art stores like Eckersley's, and And Derwents were over $250 at the time for a box of 72 for the Derwent Artists. Yeah, I love that one. That was the first one I looked at and just went, wow, because it came out like magazine print. There is so much wax on that paper, it's not funny. But yeah, I went to I'd been into Derwent's, into like expensive art shops like Eckersley's, and seen Derwent artist colour pencils in the timber box there for like $250. And we're talking nearly 30 years ago. So there was one day there I was walking past a bookshop called Angus and Robinson, and they had these Derwent artist pencils for $80, and I was just like, right, that deserves, go without anything you can, spend whatever it takes, you've got to come up with the $80 to buy those pencils. And I got them and I ran home and I was so stoked, and I coloured in with them. And yeah, they were nice pencils, and they had more pigment than like a Crayola or a Faber-Castell, etc. I'm all off screen again, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the camera. Right. So that was just playing around with watercolour pencils again, just on cheap paper. So yeah, I got these like beautiful pencils, and I do love them dearly, I really do. But they kind of crushed my soul just a little bit, because they weren't what I expected a professional pencil to be. They were just like other pencils to me. They had more pigment in them, but they didn't do anything magical. And I wanted magic. And I kept watching the Prismacolors and online and just went, these are exactly what I've been looking for my entire life. So I've got them and I love them to bits, but I prefer to grind them into the paper, and that's just not an economical way to use Prismas. So I do tend to now, because it took me so long to build my set, what I did was I put all except my little travel case. Like, I've got my little allowed set of Prismas that I use in here. Because you've got to have something to play with. Yeah, it did, Debbie, but it did buckle all the paper, but yeah, I spent hours playing with that, because I'm not a painter. I can't paint, but I do have an awful lot of fun trying. So, because it took me so long to build the Prismas, what I ended up saying to myself was that you need to have a little bit of discipline and not use them, because if you use them too much, by the time you get the full set, you'll be up to having to replace all the pencils again. You'll never get a full set if you keep using them the way you are. So they kind of got put to the side, and I went back and started to rediscover my love for cheap pencils, if that makes sense. But yeah, colouring for me has been an on and off thing. I love to draw. I'm not particularly good at drawing. Like, I couldn't just sit down and go whip, whip, whip and have something made. But, yeah, I spent hours on a single drawing. But, colouring for me is a good way of, instead of having to worry about the line art, colouring in for me is a good way to practice shading and practice tone, and without without doing all the line art. So, because I suppose to me the line art's really the quickest part of doing art. It's all the shading and the rendering and, you know, laying down all that graphite to make your skin tones and put all your shadows and everything in. That's where all the real work is. The line art's the quick part that, you know, just gives you the framework to do the rest. So colouring in for me is a way of doing art without having to, you know, get an easel out and stand there and draw. Yeah, Candace. Oh, look, I think they're just beautiful pencils. I did. I was working on a piece. Debbie, can I tell you a secret? If you can write, just write normal letters, you can draw. Because all writing is drawing. If you have a look, and Dee Dee Willingham will tell you the same thing. Have a look for a book called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards. It might say the new edition or something like that, but trust me, the book's fairly old. I picked my copy up on eBay, and she is just a wonder. And if you go through and do the exercises, you will be surprised at the end about how much you've accomplished and what you can do. Yeah, it's a wonderful book. I what I did was I was like 12 years old, and I nagged my father no end. I begged and pleaded because over the school holidays there was an art course, and it was only like $12 for the art course, and it went for 5 days. And I convinced him eventually that it was worth spending the $12 and getting me a sketchbook and a couple of pencils so that I could do this art course, because it got me out of the house for the whole week. And we got to this, like, it was just it was a little tiny town, but there was like a little town hall type thing, and all the kids came in, and the first thing they said to us all was, draw your hand. So we all sat down and we went like that with our hand, and we were, yep, done. By day 5, because it followed like the Betty Edwards lessons, by day 5 they said to us, on the last day, they said, now everyone come in and draw your hand. And we sat there all day, and we came out with a really lovely drawing at the end. So, you know, in 5 days, that book, you know, a 5-day course from Betty Edwards will actually change your life. All right, Candace, darling, you have a lovely day. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, oh, it's going to be so hard going back to work after a vacation. But you have a lovely day, Candace. Make the most of it. Make the most of whatever's left, darling. Go find something to do to pamper yourself in preparation. Pamper yourself in preparation for your return to work. Yeah, so in 5 days of doing that course, yeah, it was amazing what you could achieve. And because by the end of it, it came out like a photograph almost. It was really good. And I put drawing down for ages. Like, I won't won't pick up a pencil for ages and, years. And then all of a sudden I'll decide that I want to draw. And the first thing I do when I get back into drawing is I always go back and do the things that they taught us in that course. Just as many exercises as I can possibly think of. But I do remember for days they had us drawing balls of brown paper. You would take this like little bunched up ball of paper and draw a ball of paper. And the idea was that your brain didn't really have a preconceived idea of what a ball of paper looked like or how an angle should be or how a fold should be. So you really had to look at it and pay attention. And that's all the course is about, is teaching you how to see what you're drawing. And so yeah, for days they just had us drawing ball after ball of paper. But in the end, it really paid off. But what I'm going to do later, if I've got to find it again, in the privacy settings, I will try, because I didn't even know how to transfer my subscriptions across and everything. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way and go and resubscribe to everybody. But what I'll do later, if I can find the setting again, is I will go in and make my subscriptions, like the channels I subscribe to, public. And anytime you want to have a look and see who's in there, you've got all the colour tubers are in there, but there's also different artists, like people that do different mediums on the internet, whether it's like, well, Dee Dee Willingham does everything, but there's like actual art courses. So if you want to know anything about, drawing the head or perspective or shading, there's all sorts of different art courses that are out there. And I'm not saying go and do the course. Really, I'm not. But a lot of them, they have like long videos where you can actually glean some information and apply it to your colouring in. So, one I watched recently was just a painting video. And I don't mean just a painting video, it was a good video. And they were talking about focal points, and the teacher turned around and said to them, and it was just like an excerpt from a class, if you only need to concentrate all your details on your focal point, because that's where people's eyes are going to be drawn, and if you put too much detail everywhere else, it confuses the eye, because it becomes overwhelming, and your brain doesn't it draws away from your focal point, basically. But if you do all your main detail around your focal point, people's minds will actually fill in and look at the picture as if the rest of the picture was just as detailed. And that kind of changed my life a little bit recently, because it's like, wow, all these hours I've been spending trying to get things down to the nth degree. And yeah, you don't actually have to go to that extreme. I mean, the funniest thing ever was trying to watch me, if you'd have watched me colouring in the title page in Secret Garden when it came out. That was the funniest thing ever. I actually had to go out and buy this dirty big magnifying glass so I could see what I was doing. And I spent hours and hours working in really tiny detail with my big fat Prismacolors. And yeah, now I just sort of look at it and think, oh my god, what a waste of time that was. I was just putting way too much pressure on myself. But never mind. So, I don't know, girls. So, what sort of things would you like to see me do in the future? Is there anything in particular you want me to have a crack at? Or is there anything you want help with? Do you want me to show you how I get dimension on different things? Or if I've got a particular book that you want me to work in and I've got it here, then I'm happy to work in it for you. I'm hoping that streaming is actually going to be something that causes me or pushes me, more to the point, to actually finish pages for a change. Because now I've got people waiting on me to see them, haven't I? Whereas they can't just all be secretly stashed in the bookcase and nobody will ever know that the page isn't finished. So yeah, no worries, Debbie. So I'm saying anytime if you sort of, see something in one of the pages and go, hey, how did you do that? More than welcome to help. I don't know about the mentor thing that that Anne was talking about the other day, because I don't know that I could fit a time schedule. But I'm certainly happy to help anytime anyone wants to come and say, hey, give us a hand, or I'm trying to get this effect and how do I do it? Because it doesn't, just because how do you put it? You can have the most expensive pencil in the world, and if you don't know how to use it, then you're not going to get the results you want. And that's what was going on with the Derwents, because back then I didn't know about blender pencils and solvents and, that sort of stuff. Whereas now I do know about them, and it's like, oh, I could do so much more with those things now. There are some pencils here that I'm itching to tell Australians about, which I'm sure I've bored some of you girls with already. But, and I'm planning on doing a video about them, but I'll show you something here. Now, if you don't know what the pencils I'm talking about, feel free to have a guess. If I can get this on the screen. How am I going to get some of this? Because apparently the camera is now too low. Am I on the screen yet? No. Try that maybe. Okay, we're sort of getting closer. Yeah, that's exactly right, May. I mean, seriously, take a guess at how... See this picture in Lost Ocean? If you don't already know the answer, take a guess at how much or how expensive those pencils are on that page. Because these pencils are absolutely frightening in their price. Incredibly frightening. You'll fall off your chair if you don't know already, mate. Those pencils were actually $4. $4. They come in a really ugly cardboard box. Seriously, they come in an ugly cardboard box. I don't have a cardboard box here to show you. But it's actually 2 sets of pencils. There's a set of pencils, I think it's about $4 as well. And in it you get... I keep thinking it feels darker here, I don't know why. But in it you get 2 of every fluorescent pencil. Because there's half a dozen fluoros. And the rest of it is just a little pack of 24 really terrible pencils. The pigment in them is fantastic. They layer just like magic. Let's see. I know which picture I'm thinking of. Hang on, we'll put this away again. Because there's a picture in this book. Because these are the same pencils in this book. It's just different paper, and I was busy just playing, right? But that skirt was originally blue. If she's on there. So that skirt there was originally blue. And then I changed my mind and went, no, I want green. So I went over it with yellow. And, you know, they just, for a cheap pencil, they just layer so well. I'm sorry, May. I have every other, apart from the laptop showing me what's happening on screen, everything else is turned off around here. So even the tablet, which is normally sort of sitting there silently, I've turned it off too. But yeah, these pencils, I don't know where you can buy these. Oh, it does, mate. It just blends so pretty. They layer so well. Like, these browns and everything up here don't even exist in the set. I was blending to get those colours. I don't know if I've got... There's a washed out, because it's covered in sticky tape. But that's the front off of one of the packets. Let's see if I can get it sort of somewhere where you can see it. So they look pretty washed out there because there's sticky tape over the top. But that's the colours that come in the 24 set. But unfortunately, the brand on them says the Craft Stall. Craft Stall's not really a brand. It's just, you know, the $2 shop. We've got a $2 shop over here called the Reject Shop, and they so they just rebrand everything to say the Craft Stall. So I don't know what brand these are, but if you're in Australia, these are fantastic. The downside to them, though, is, and to me, for the price, it's worth tolerating it, because you'll be using it and the lead will fall out of the pencil, or the lead will just break, or you'll be sharpening it and the lead will just keep breaking. So I use my Prismacolor sharpener on them. But they're just very fragile little beasts. But it's $4 for a whole pack. And that's where my brain goes, that's good value for money, because I pay $3 for one Prismacolor pencil. So I'm happy to put up with the constant breakage and the constant resharpening, because I get 24 pencils of really pretty colours for the same price as I can buy one Prismacolor. You know, May, I've seen reviews, and I know Peter Hewitt did a review of the Black Widow pencils, and she said it was an Australian company. But about the only place I can seem to find Black Widows to buy is on American Amazon, like Amazon US. It's got me beat, because I actually sort of looked at the Black Widows and went, oh, they'd be really pretty. Oh, but these, the pencils that I use for these, darling, they're all oil-based pencils. So, they're just very creamy to lay down. There's like no waxy build-up or anything on them. Tara, my favourite sharpener, is probably one of my most hated sharpeners, and it's this little guy here. It's the, just the standard Prismacolor barrel sharpener. It's the only one that the Prismacolors seem to like here that I can buy. Oh, thank you, May. Yeah, I do keep looking for them. But yeah, I don't know what you guys pay for a sharpener over there, but over here it's somewhere between about $15, $16 to $20 plus shipping. So, my first one died really quickly. I must have just, because I was a bit like Sammy, I had to have a sharp point on everything. And it's like, just jam it in there, keep putting sharp points on everything. My prisms were just really quickly, and my sharpener was lucky to last a month. So this is the second one, and it's been really good so far, and I use it to sharpen everything now. If you're going to have a sharpener, you may as well just use it. And I do have a spare one on hand in the cupboard, because when it goes in a hurry. So you'll be, all of a sudden you'll be going along, you'll be sharpening pencils just fine, and then it'll start chewing your pencils. If it starts chewing your pencils, you may as well just throw it in the bin and start again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they may. MediHealth 1. Alrighty. I'll write that down in here. MediHealth 1. Thank you, May. I'm just double checking I've got that right. Yep, Medi1, Health 1. Alrighty. I'll look them up again. I've better put Black Widow on there. I'll look them up again because, yeah, when Peter Hewitt was doing the review of them, she said that they were in Australia, and I don't know, I thought, well, that's great because they'll be easy to buy, and you can buy them in, individual sets, and, that should be really economical and easy enough to manage. And then went hunting for them and just went, can't find them anywhere. So, yeah, I'll definitely be looking for them. They're on my wish list, but my next... And I didn't think I was going to go this way. I really didn't. But my next big thing on my wish list, I want to get some titanium buff from Luminance, and I want to get some Luminance white pencils. They're the only two Luminance pencils I need and want. And they're kind of on the back burner at the moment because I don't know if you saw my Angel Girl. I've got an Angel Girl that I'm working on. And sorry girls, most of these videos will just be like colour alongs and talking about skills and stuff, but we'll just have a quick peekaboo. No, she's at the back of the book somewhere. I started working on this one, and I don't know if the lighting's going to be good enough to show. And I'm really tempted to use that zoom thingy now. Yep, that light's flat. That's what the problem is. Let me just grab another. Yeah. Oh, see, now that was good, that was. I managed to grab that light without folding in half. Sorry, the first light's gone. completely flat. So we get some light on that side somewhere. That will help. Oh, thank you, mate. I'll click on that link in a minute. I don't know if you can see on this if I get her reasonably close to the camera, which I'm sure other people aren't going to look close. But hang on, I've got to work out which way to move this page now. That way, I think. Did that bring her back? Right. Okay. See in the dark shadows there, like under her neck and all the side of her face and the side of her nose? How it all went really mottled? Well, I'm not happy about that. She's got that real mottled look. And thank you, darling. I'm too scared to do her wings or anything yet because she looks so great now that I don't want to kill her. So, and thank you, mate. I just opened that tab, that link in a new tab. So, anyways, this is what I did quite recently, and I was so stoked with the shading and how it came out, but then the skin all went mottled, and when you work with graphite, which is what I've normally always worked with, when you do shadows, one of the key things, especially with skin, is if the laydown of the texture of the skin isn't smooth, then any shadows, like if your shadows are all lumpy like this, it stops looking like shadows and starts looking like dirt. So it looks more like her face is dirty rather than her face is in shadow. So, and I mean, it's not terribly bad. It could just be the paper. I've tried solvent, I've tried blenders, I did everything I could to rescue the texture of her skin. But it was enough for me to say, right, now I need polychromos because at least with an oil-based pencil I can get a smooth laydown. So, my new goal is to get some skin tones in polychromos. So I want like all the browns and peachy colours. So, but yes, I think she's wonderful. Her wonderfulness scares me because now I don't know what to do with the wings, and I don't want the wings to look so silly that it takes away from her. If I had acrylic paint, I'd just paint the wings out and be happy. Yeah, mate, I will keep the chat. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I'll keep the chat. That's not a problem. Because, yeah, I like the idea that it's going to be there for people, not just myself, but for everyone to go back to later and go, hey, I found that link. So, yeah, my next aim is to get, I don't know, about $30 worth of polychromos just to do skin tones with. Okay, mate. I was more thinking of, see, that's where it was sort of tearing me apart because, as you can tell, I love aqua. And as much as I want to put aqua in her wings, it was just like, if I do that, it's going to pull away from her eyes. And I really want her eyes to be aqua. So, well, her eyes are aqua, but I didn't want to sort of take too much away from her. Yeah, I'm a procrastinator, mate. I get so far and then I stop and I go, oh, it's like you get I get paralyzed at the start of doing a drawing. I don't know if you girls do. I get paralyzed at the start and go, oh, I don't know what color to use. So I freeze and it takes me ages to work out where to make a start. And then I'll get so far through a drawing and then all of a sudden I get paralyzed again because it's like I've got this color and this color, but now how do I keep them tied together, or how do I add a new color? And so I sort of get to a point and it's like, oh, stop there because we're going to mess it up any minute now. Yeah, well, she's got aqua in her eyes. She's got aqua eyes and she's got the aqua trim on her dress. So I do need to use aqua somewhere else. Because somewhere in my mind, if you use color in at least three places, it gives it context. I'm just trying to put her back on here for a minute. So she's got aqua in her eyes, and she's got the aqua here. But I either need to add aqua to her belt, or to the flowers at the front, or to the bird so that it connects the bird to her eyes. But yeah, I just kind of want to make that aqua sort of blend in a bit. In these bits, May, these long curly bits. That could work, May. I like that idea. Because I kept looking at it the other way going, pink in here. I was thinking like a pink here and an aqua here and then pink in these round spots because they look the same as the roses down in the bottom. So it's sort of kind of threw me. Yeah. All right, I'll give that a go. Oh, thank you, Grace. I feel like I'm yelling at the phone. I don't know that that's necessary. But yeah, that's the only reason I want to get some polychromos next. That's because that whole book, this whole book is just full. Every page is an angel. So there's all sorts of skin tone in there just to go nuts with. So it's a good place to, practice. Oh, and that's the book, by the way. Just in case you wanted to know. Yeah, Grace, she is. May's my rock star. So it's messages from the fairies. And it says at the top here, Doreen Virtue. And then it says in tiny, and this kind of annoys me, in tiny little letters underneath, it says illustrations by Norma J. Burnell. So it's very hard I feel a bit sorry for Norma J. Burnell because that's a very small byline considering she did the artwork. So I think Doreen Virtue must have written the little side pieces. So I don't know. I don't. When it came to the cover, because I always said by Doreen Virtue, but I'd much rather think of this book as by Norma J. Burnell because she did the artwork. Oh, cool, Grace. All right, May. Yeah, they had a few different ones, and at the time it was like, well, you're not getting them all because if I let myself buy them all, I will buy them all. But it's just like you're not getting them all. You can just get one. So that was the one I happened to grab on the day, and then I haven't seen them in the shop since. So I got the one that I liked the best, which is good. Because otherwise I would have just bought them all. Because I think she was about $10. She might have been $14, somewhere there. I don't know if it's got a price on it. But yeah, she might have been a $10 or $14 book. I don't think she was one of the $5 books. But I got a lot of books for $5. I think I got a lot of the Angela Porter books, and I got them for $5. Yeah, Louise, they do. Everyone has like each page has its own message. And the message itself was written by Doreen Virtue. But yeah, it was Norma J. Bennett that did all the artwork. Oh, I suppose I should do some more on this. Actually starting to get tired, so it might be getting to that point in time where we have to jump offline and do something else, like sleep. But seriously, girls, if there's something you want to see, or you know, if any of you can make any suggestions on a better way to mount this camera so that it's more functional, um, that would be fantastic. Because I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong, and it's just been it's the zooming in and zooming out thing that's driving me nuts because. And I know it's only day one, and you probably get used to these things given time. But we've had to pull that thing out of the cradle so many times to adjust it, that there's got to be an easier way. Because at the moment it's probably, yeah. Okay, at the moment, like I've just got a standard Logitech um, keyboard with a numeric pad at the end. And I don't know what length it is, but it's a pretty much a standard length keyboard. Um, and the camera is just over that, the length of the keyboard from the book to the camera. The camera sits probably an inch or so above it. So the problem is I can't actually see the screen of the camera while I'm working. So it doesn't want to zoom in properly, and just got to work out how to make it go smoother. I was wondering if there was a better sort of mounting system, like one of those octopus things or something. Bearing in mind though that I am in a recliner chair here, and this is hanging up over my lap, so I need to be able to connect it to tie it off to something somewhere. Oh, thank you, Grace. This is actually for your Crayola challenge. I've got one to do for Sammy's Kirby versus Nick challenge as well. But I kind of figured that, well, the Kirby versus Nick challenge is being done with Prismacolor, so technically it should be a little bit faster to work on, because you don't need to work so hard to get colour out of the pencils. But yeah, thank you girls for all coming in today and having a chat and supporting me, and for everybody being moderators. Grace isn't a moderator. Grace, would you like to be a moderator, darling? You don't have to, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome. It was funny when we started because we had like 6 people watching and all of them were moderators. Oh, that's good, Louise. I'm pleased you have. I've got to get better at, like, because I'm a critical type person. I don't mind critiques as long as they're constructive. I've got to get better at telling people what I'm actually doing. And I think that's just going to be a learning curve. They're saying, like, now I'm using, what's this one? Oh, I can't even read that now. Okay, so now I'm using the Crayola turquoise pencil. Oh, thank you, May. That's what I said. It wasn't, it's, I was wanting to do some colouring in, but, and get to say hello to everybody and work out how everything works and how the camera works and, that sort of thing. And so I knew we were going to do a bit of colouring and it was going to be mainly chat. And then there's that alarm bell that goes off in your head that goes, oh no, how am I going to talk to somebody for 2 hours? So I'm sorry if I've rambled and I've gone off track. Moderators, please feel free to, if ever I'm off track, tell me to come back on track. Because I do lose my train of thought, and then I pick up another train of thought, and it'll be 2 hours, 3 hours later, or the next day, and it'll be, oh, that's what I was saying. Oh, I meant to finish that train of thought. So I'm actually gonna pack this up tonight, guys. One little hint that I don't know if any of you know, but this is what I'm doing at the moment. I tried sticky taping them down, and that just didn't work. But I just get some of these cheap pencil cases, and I guess it'll happen with the expensive ones as well, but some of the little elastic loops are bigger than the pencil, so your pencil falls out all the time. So all I did was just take literally a piece of paper, it's not very big, and rolled it up and then squashed it flat and just shove it in the loop. And I used longish sort of pieces of paper so that they had room to move. And then you can just put your pencil in over the top and it will tighten that loop up enough without damaging the elastic, but it also stops them falling out of the thing. So that's what the story is about, the little pieces of paper in there. They're just is it this pencil? One of the pencils in here before was just sliding all around. And I don't like that. That would be lovely, May. Thank you so much. Because I'm a rambling woman, and I know it. So, and you guys are all colour tubers, so I don't really need to tell you about, the pencil case is really cheap. Find it on eBay, $12. Roughly. So, But yeah, no, I intend to, if I've got things here, I can show you. I'm just so cranky about those craft store pencils because they are lovely, and even with all their breakages, I think they're just good value for money. And I'm so cranky that I can't find out what the actual brand is so that I can share them with the world. But anyways, girls, I will say good night. And guess what? Buggerlugs down there has not come up once. He hasn't even bought me a toy. So I will see you all next time. And I will probably be streaming through the day, because this is now into the middle of the night for us here. It's 20 to 1 in the morning here now. So I will probably be streaming, or hoping to stream, sort of from midday on-ish. You're more than welcome, Louise. More than welcome. I'm just so happy that I've actually got the opportunity to contribute. Because I come and I watch all the streams, and I've been watching the streams for a couple of years, and it's so nice to be able to give back. So, thank you very much for coming, and I will see you all next time. But make the most. This is really important, girls. Doesn't matter what sort of day it is, find something in it to make great and enjoy it. And I know it's not always easy to do, but you've got to make the most of what you got. All right, girls, you have a lovely night. And now we can go for the hilarity while I try to find the stop button and work out what I'm supposed to do with this thing next. Everybody. Oh, it's so funny. I just went to... See, I'm so used to being on the chat end. I just went to scroll down so I could type in there and chat. And say good night. That's weird. All right, darlings. You have a great night. Have a great day. And find something in your day that you can absolutely enjoy. Nighty-night. Now, to find that stop button. I think we'll just take it out of the frame. Oh, where's the frame? Oh, one of these is... must be that one. All right. I hope this is the right button. Good night, girls. Thanks so much again. See you soon. Bye. Top chat. No, why is it telling me about chat? No. May, how do I stop the stream? Oh no. How do I stop the stream? There's a camera box, there's a chat box. Oh no, I'm destined to stream forever. It'll be like the song that never ends. It's share, enable, flash, mute microphone. That could always be handy. No, they're filters by the look of it. Yeah, no, I tried settings, the three dots. The three dots say share, enable, flash, and mute microphone. Maybe the camera? No, that just pointed us back at the roof. Oh, no. Why don't they tell you how to turn it off? All right, we need Google. I think we need Google. Oh, no. Oh, so just I think I've got it. I just pushed the live button maybe. Because that's where I started it, because it said go live. No. What happens if I just push the X? At the moment, I have no idea what you're watching, darling. Oh, it's the inside of my hand. See? Take the plug out. Get it down from the mount. It keeps telling... Well, there's a good news, girls. The battery is flat. The battery is critically low. It says connect my device to a charger. So that's got to end the stream, hasn't it? Oh. I know. Okay, girls. Look, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to hit the X button. There is an X button. Oh, hang on.